Hey, welcome back to the channel and to a new video. Today's video is a review of episode 13 of Nwa Powerrr, and I personally enjoy Nwa very much because from a storyline point of view is interesting and old school. They have good storylines, they have good characterization of the wrestlers, good promos, so good in-ring storytelling, and for this reason is very old school, but is quite pleasant to watch. For sure is more entertaining than Raw and SmackDown, and in fact I watch weekly NWA. Meanwhile I stopped watching Raw and SmackDown like right after Hell in a Cell. So yeah, a few months. But this is not the point. The point is that NWA is amazing from my point of view, and this is a simple review of the episode. So the episode begins with Team Storm cutting a promo on how Nick Aldis refused to face him in the in a qualification match for the television championship tournament that will see the finals in the pay-per-view Hard Times on January 24, and he cut a promo on how Aldis refused to fight him and how this basically took away the opportunity to show to the audience a fantastic match between them. And Team Storm isn't happy with this decision that Nick Aldis took, of course. And also this promo was really good. Was a real good babyface promo, something we don't see very often in the wrestling world. Then after Team Storm finished this promo, Camille came out, and of course she didn't speak at all, and instead she slapped Team Storm, and he stared him intensely, and then she left. Then the second segment of the night was a promo from Trevor Murdoch, and basically they decided a match for next week for the tournament, of course, which will be Zane Dawson versus Dave Dawson, and they were both shocked about this match that was announced, because it was decided by fate by picking out their name from basically a bowl. After that, Trevor Murdoch talked about his match against Tom Latimer, and this was pretty much it. Then we had a match for advancing in the finals of the tournament for the television Championship, and it was Zicky Dines versus Caleb Connolly, and of course it was a 6 minutes match because the time limit is 6 minutes for this tournament, and Zicky Dines won, and so he advanced to the finals on hard times. Then the fourth segment, sorry, I have my sheet with notes that is very, very filled with notes. So the fourth segment was an interview of Aaron Stevens and the question mark. And Stevens addresses the question mark as his sensei, and he said that the question mark taught him more about his life than he has ever knew. And Stevens believes also that basically has an issue with the titles pictures in NWA, because he believes that the best deserves to have the titles, and this is the reason why he doesn't like the fact that Ken Anderson, Colt Cabana, James Storm, and Eli Drake are asking for title matches. Meanwhile, he believes that since he and the question mark are the best, they should have all the titles, and this is the reason why he wants to have all the title. And of course, he ended the interview stating that he will put his third degree national championship online when he will find basically someone who is worthy of this title. Then there was another match, which was Thunder Rosa against ODB, and Thunder Rosa won in a really entertaining women's wrestling match. Then there was the sixth segment, which was basically Aldis cutting a promo on Camille and saying that she is not anymore his insurance policy, and that she is basically part of Strictly Big Business, the stable he created. And after that, he doesn't want to talk about Ricky Morton and Tim Storm, because they're basically old guys that aren't on his level, and he wants to talk about Ricky Starks, and in fact he will fight him, will give him a chance to fight against the world champion. He gave Ricky Starks the opportunity to prove himself against the world champion. But the match was only 6 minutes long and ended in a draw. After the match ended in a draw, Ricky Morton came out and asked Aldis to give Ricky Starks 5 more minutes. And Ricky Starks agreed, but Nick Aldis refused. Then, at this point, Ricky Morton asked Aldis to give him 5 minutes with Aldis, of course, and Aldis refused and left the ring. After all of this, we had basically Eli Drake and James Storm versus Colt Cabana and Ken Anderson versus the Wildcards. But the wildcards refused to compete, and so the match was only between. So as I was saying, the match at this point was only between Eli Drake and James Storm versus Cole Cabana and Ken Anderson, because the wildcards refused to compete. And the match ended in disqualification when Ken Anderson basically argued with the referee and took him by the shirt. So this led to disqualification. And the final segment of the night was basically Nick Aldis coming out with wildcards and Camilla, and he talked about the fact that he pulled away from the match the wildcards because he believes that that match wasn't worthy of them, and he has the power to do so because he is the world champion. And then he called out the Rock and Roll Express. Then Aldis called out Rock and Roll Express, and he proposed something, basically a match between Team Aldis and Team Morton. And if Team Morton wins, Ricky Morton will have a shot at the World Championship, but neither him or neither Morton will be in the match. In fact, it's going to be a 6-man tag team match, and we only know basically the 3 men of Aldis, who are the wildcards, and someone who is a free agent, someone who is from another promotion, which is Scott Steiner. Meanwhile, from the Morton team, we only know that his partner of the Rock and Roll Express is the only member, and probably next week we will get to know who are the other members of the Ricky Morton team. So this was everything that happened on NWA Powerrr. Episode 13 was a 1-hour show and was really entertaining for what it was, as always. A really good old school wrestling show that delivers every single time. So I'm very intrigued about this Team Aldis versus Team Morton thing, and I hope that it continues to entertain me as it has done right now. It has done up until now, and yeah, I cannot wait to see the pay-per-view on January 24, and that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked this video and the videos I made, and if you want to subscribe, give a like, etc, and see you next time. Bye bye.